Greetings, dear ones. When we are walking towards the light, the bright light that is in front of us, we should be aware that the light creates a shadow, and the light, when it shines upon us, a shadow is created. There is a shadow here. This shadow is that dark aspect of me which I keep hidden, and it appears in different ways in different times of life as masks, different masks which I keep masked. And most of us live in pretension. We pretend not to see it, we pretend not to notice it, we pretend not to look or stare into it. But a seeker who is walking on the path of awareness, the light of awareness keeps shining and keeps us reminding that there is something lurking within us, because until these shadows are cleared, we do not clear those aspects of our life which is blocking us towards the light, towards complete evolution. So it is very much necessary to look into this, directly stare into this, and do the work on it. This work is called as inner work, which in my personal sessions I often reflect and I often keep on doing. I keep guiding people into those aspects, looking deeply into those aspects which are the cause of all the blockages. So we usually look into the world outside, or the outer aspects of us, the outer aspects of our personality, and find out what's wrong. And most of the time we feel that everything is going fine in my life and I'm a fine personality, then why these things are happening to me? But often all these dark shadows are hidden so deep that we cannot look into it, and it takes a lot of courage, dear ones, lot of courage to look into our own mistakes. It's very easy to look into the mistakes of the world, into the mistakes of others, and that's where the judgments come in. We never self criticize, we never self judge. We judge others very easily because we can see very clearly into the errors of others, because we stare at them in clarity, but we fail to stare at ourselves in clarity because it's painful to look at those shadows. The sun is out there again, my shadow is still existing, so I must have the courage to look at my shadow. And when I look at my shadow, what happens is, you can see the sun is gone behind me, and when the sun is behind me, what happens is there is darkness. There is a certain kind of darkness. I cannot see this. This darkness is what people are mostly afraid of. Mostly afraid of. They don't want to look into this darkness because it's very scary. It's not comfortable at all. So it's not easy. So I end up not looking at the shadow, but right now I'm looking deep into my shadow. I'm walking directly into my shadow, facing my inner deep demons. These are called the inner deep demons of mine. So when I face my demons, I'm able to expose them. This is what I often call that: expose yourself. Instead of exposing anything else, expose that aspect of yourself. Because when you expose that to light, that also turns and transmutes to light, and that is where it gets an ascension. All these aspects, dark aspects of us. So you can see when the sun is behind me, things are dark. But the light is not gone. The light is still there. I'm not able to see. I'm using the same light, my divine love and divine light, to work on my issues, my deep demons, my deep dark secrets, which is only known to me. So I am the only person who's going to heal it. So this is very regular and consistent kind of spiritual work that is needed, where I every day sit, or whenever times I'm aware, I look at myself, deeper, darker aspects of myself, and I keep looking at these. And when I look at this, when light comes into these shadows, it completely transmutes itself. So, dear ones, the inner work is all based on this. Do not shy to do any kind of inner work, whichever path you are, whichever religion, whichever faith you belong to. That's one aspect, because that will give you the strength to look into these darker aspects. But do not hesitate to look within, deep within. It is my personal experience that until you expose all these dark aspects of you and let them go one by one, you won't experience that freedom, that peace, and that contentment. It's very important that you release them. Otherwise, they will keep lurking and haunting you and you will not know what is haunting you. You will be exteriorly looking at things, but interiorly, this will be the major drawback. And whenever I want to look back, it doesn't take much time. If these shadows are giving me overwhelming problems, all that I need is to change my direction and look towards the light. So, know this, we are always looking at the light. We are always moving in that direction. But at times, we need to use the same light to expose our shadows. So, one day, when the whole work is done, when the whole dark work is done, this dark aspect, that will be the time when we are going to turn completely around. And slowly, when the shadow work is done, inner shadow work is done, then as you turn behind, what happens is now you don't see the shadow, it's gone. And you can see, right, I was using this beautiful sun in this universe as an example. You can actually see that the sun, the brightness is gone, but there is still light, but you won't find my shadow. There is no shadow. This is beautiful. This is beautiful because when the inner work is done, you can see the shadow is gone, but there is light. I can see everything in clarity. Isn't that a beautiful example, dear ones? So, in case you need help with any of these aspects of you which you are unable to see, which you cannot see, you can take my help. I'll be there on that. But if you don't need, if you think you are aware of all of it, there are lots of videos on my platform which I'm regularly putting. You can look into that and you can have glimpses of what this awareness is and how are you going to go deep into that awareness. Awareness is everything. Awareness is you. Grossly, I'm just use your awareness. I'm saying this is not the truth. You are the awareness. But I will always be using this word, use your awareness, because right now we have not shifted into that awareness. So when we are not in that awareness, we feel awareness is apart from us. No problem. The ego conscious is always separate from the awareness. So we are actually shifting from the ego consciousness into the awareness. And when you are in the awareness, those moments, at that time, you can say that I am that pure awareness. And this awareness is looking at all these aspects, including the shadow. What was looking at it? The mind cannot look at it. What we try to do is we analyze things. You cannot analyze things. Please understand this. If you analyze, you are using your analytical mind. And the mind cannot give you directions. The mind cannot give you clarity. The mind is never honest. The mind will protect the ego. So it is very important that you shift from the mind or the ego consciousness into the awareness and look into that. It's beautiful, guys. It's really beautiful. So whichever path we are, whatever we are doing, I've always used this. This is some gift that was there always in me. So I could see through things even while I was doing all my practices. Even I still do my sadhana, which my guru has taught me. I still do it, continue to do it. But it is very powerful when I use this light of awareness into that. So you can use it in any of your faith, any of your belief, any of your paths, and shine the light there. Keep shining the light there. It's a beautiful journey. So if you do not know how to do that, you can look into those videos. It's very easy. It's not very difficult. It just needs practice. So you can do it without even this consultations. But if you need help, I'm there to help on that. So with this nudge, I take your leave and much divine love and light to you. Stay blessed.